Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto, and our journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the fifth round of the 1951 season, the British Grand Prix. It was held on the 14th of July, it had 24 entries, all of who took part in the race, and there were 7 retirements. The race consisted of 90 laps, which were completed in 2 hours 24 minutes and 18 seconds. Juan Manuel Fangio started the race from pole, Fagioli was second, Farina third, Ascari fourth, and Villoresi started from fifth. The race was won by Juan Froilan Gonzalez. Fangio finished second. 51 seconds later, Luigi Villoresi was third, 2 laps behind, Bonetto fourth, 3 laps down, and rounding up the top 5 was Reg Parnell, who was 5 laps down, and the fastest lap was posted by Nino Farina, a 1 minute 44 flat. We're back at Silverstone for the 5th championship round of the season, a fast, simple track with high-speed corners where a quick entry and exit is absolutely crucial. Despite its simplicity, it is very difficult to master, mainly due to the fact that 4 out of the 8 corners look almost identical, yet each of them has its own characteristic, and a good lap time here means that you will have to master every corner. We're here in qualifying. Coming out of club, I apply a bit too much power coming out of the corner, and that causes the car to swap ends, obviously hurting my lap time here very much. But eventually I do make it around, and that is a 159.7, which is absolutely dreadful. That's 30 seconds slower than my own teammate who's in pole. But on the second try I managed to keep it together and put in a 133.1, which is not the best but a whole lot better than my first lap. Hopefully we can improve on this time as well. Hopefully. Then finally a 142.3, which is a whole lot better. Not exactly where I would want to be, but I guess I'm going to take it. This is probably the fastest I can be, and here we are at the start of the race for the grid walk in just a few seconds. And here we go. So let's see what the lineup is. We have Fangio on pole, Gonzalez on second, Peter Walker third, Nino Farina is fourth, Felice Bonetto is rounding up the top 5. Then we have Luigi Fagioli in 6th, Johnny Consalvo Sanisi in 7th, our guy Andy Higgs is 8th, Alberto Ascari 9th, Luigi Villoresi 10th, Piero Taruffi 11th, in 12th we have Rudi Fischer, Tulo de Graffenried is 13th, Louis Chiron 14th, in 15th we have Cabantu, followed by Rosier in 16th. Then we have Pilet in 17th, Simon 18th, Johnny Clay is 19th, and finally in the Simca Gordini, Robert Manzon in 20th. So that is the lineup for today. A big race for myself and for Peter Walker. This is our, well, Andy Higgs's and Reg Parnell's home Grand Prix, so they are both expected to do well, especially since they are both driving British cars. And we are off to a rather disappointing start there, lose a couple of positions but gain them back almost immediately as we now rush into Woodcote, turn 1 here, and we can already see some carnage. Cars are all over the place and the game started to lag there a bit, so I'm cutting straight to the replay here. As we see, we are coming down into Woodcote. There I am regaining my 2 last positions, so that puts me back up into 8th. As we come into Woodcote, we see cars all over the track, losing control. I slow down there to uh, avoid crashing into cars, and also because the game was lagging, I was kind of losing control. Now we see Juan Manuel Fangio coming into club here, into turn 2, crashes into the fence and loses his front right wheel. Next we have Luigi Villoresi, who was coming into turn 1, hits the hay bales, then gets collected by that French car and loses almost all of its wheels, and that's the end of him. Next we have Cabantu, who comes into turn 1, loses control, spins around, and decides that he had more than enough of this race, despite the fact that his car is absolutely intact. Next we have Andresimo in the number 12 Simca, who's coming around, loses control of the car, hits the Talbot logo there, and decides to retire. Then we have Johnny Clays in the yellow Talbot logo, losing control of the car, spins around and decides to retire, as we see another Simca Gordini there losing control, which was driven by Robert Manzo, the number 10 Simca Gordini. Again, losing control and deciding that they had enough. Now we have Louis Rosier, who crashes into the Ferrari. We saw that a bit earlier as well. He crashes into the Ferrari, loses his front wheel, one of his front wheels, and he's out of the race. Next we have Rudy Fischer in the number 42 Ferrari, coming into the second corner and decides to retire. Then we have André Pilet, who loses control of his Talbot logo, and again, despite the fact that his car is intact, decides to retire, and that is a total of 9 cars in just one corner. That's almost half the field out of the race before it even really began, so that's going to give us a very easy job here today, as we are already up in 6th and chasing after Piero Taruffi, who is building a gap pretty nicely. But we're now closing up on Alberto Ascari, who seemed to have lost control of his car a bit there, but he is still in the race. Lap 13, and Peter Walker, the race leader, is out of the race. This is unbelievable. It took 13 more laps for another retirement here, and I would have rather hoped that there weren't any. We're now looking at Gonzalez in his number 12 Ferrari, coming around Cobbs there, losing control of the car and deciding to retire. Well, actually, he goes back onto the track, drives backwards, and crashes into Peter Walker. And here we have it again, Peter Walker coming around. There was Gonzalez, who was driving in the wrong direction, and they made contact, as we see one of the Ferraris getting back onto the track there. That was actually Gonzalez's fault. He should have not be driving in the wrong direction there. So because of that, we move up into the lead of the race here. Not entirely proud of my position, as we on lap 27 we come around to lap one of the Alfa Romeos, which is absolutely amazing, especially considering that the Alfa Romeo is supposed to be a lot faster than my little B.R.M here. But yeah, I'm not too proud of being in first place considering all that happened. And here we are coming around to finish the race on lap 31. This is probably the shortest race in this series thus far, so but yeah, there we go. I'm not entirely happy about that, to be honest, despite the fact that this is going to help us a lot in the long run, and obviously 8 points is nothing to scoff at. And here are the race results. Quite a few people finished actually. We have quite a few, and we see there Peter Walker managed to score at least 1 point, even though he didn't finish the race, by posting the fastest lap, so well done to him. And here we have all the retirements, kind of the same who've always retired during the season, considering the fact that generally everyone retires in these races for one reason or another. Well, I'm not too sure what to say about this race, but I know it is going to help in the long run, so hooray, I guess. Anyway, here are the career achievements. Andy Higgs has participated in 12 races. His best start is 5th. No pole positions yet. Has set one fastest lap. His best finish is 1st. He has a total of 4 wins. out of which one was at the Indianapolis 500. No championships won yet, a total of 49 points, 4 retirements, has completed 254 laps out of the 356 total laps, has 3 bronze trophies, 4 gold trophies, and as a result 4 podiums. And now looking at the championship tables, as you can see, we've started dropping points here. I obviously dropped my retirement because that's my worst result of the season so far. But I actually managed to climb into the top of the leaderboard here with Luis Shiro in second, Fagioli third, Piero Taruffi fourth, and Nino Farina in fifth. Further down the line, we see that Juan Manuel Fangio is yet to score any points this season, which kind of begs the question if he can still win this season. I'm very, very doubtful at this point. Also, there are quite a few people who didn't score points yet, despite the fact that they should have. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But anyways, guys, this is the end of the British Grand Prix and the end of this video. It was, well, not the best, I gotta admit, but I'm sure there are going to be worse races than this one, so I guess we should just brace for impact. Our next race is something that I've been reluctantly waiting for, which is the German Grand Prix held at the famous and infamous Nordschleife circuit. I'm quite nervous about this because despite the fact that it is my all-time favorite circuit, I'm not all that good at it, so we might be seeing our second retirement of the season there. But anyway, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And we've come to that point in the season when I'm going to have to ask you guys to vote for next season's team. Rules are exactly the same as always. You can vote for any of the teams that have took part in the season. If there will be a tie, I will settle it by choosing the weaker of the teams. And that's pretty much it. Link is in the description to the straw poll where you can go to vote. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, stay sharp.